You could swap £27,000 for Audi's S3, the four-wheel drive, six-speed turbocharged flagship version of the A3. Or for £29,000, you could have BMW's rear-wheel drive 328 Coupe. Both do almost 150 miles an hour and hit 60 in under 7 seconds. With such close performance, how are you going to decide? I tell you what, I'll just have to put my footsie down on the Jones and find out. The S3 differs from the rest of the family by having a deeper front bumper, rear roof spoiler, beefier wheel arches and gorgeous 17-inch alloys. It does resemble its less sporty siblings by being able to carry 4 adults, but you better just hope they're Chelsea supporters because blue is everywhere. The Recaro seats grip with gusto, which is just as well because the ride can be a bit rough. Underneath, it's almost identical to the TT, but the 1.8-litre 20-valve engine dishes out 210 brake horsepower, which is 20 brake more than the BM. Its torque is pretty impressive too, making the S3 incredibly grunty in all gears once you got past the turbo line. Four-wheel drive gives it decent stability, but Mr. or Miss City Suit won't really need that down the King's Road. It could come in handy on the thrash through the home counties though, but as ever there is a limit to this car's grip. Now don't get me wrong, this is one big fun box, but the only way to make smooth progress is to be really gentle with everything, which is quite boring. If you do deck it and slam it all the way through that 6-speed gearbox, you will end up at the other end needing a sedative because you will have had such a jerky ride. Something you definitely don't get in the BMW. Out of every 4 coupes sold in the UK, 1 will be a BMW 3 Series. Pretty impressive, which is exactly what the previous generation 3 Series was. The old 328 was a brilliant understudy to the M3 and was one of my favourites. But somebody has got the killjoy stick out and waved it over this car. BMW claims that everything here has been tuned for driving pleasure. Yeah, right, for my granddad. The 6-cylinder 2.8-litre engine is very smooth, and yes, it is more economical than the Audi, but who cares? Our city types have cavernous expense accounts. It is a very accomplished car and gives a much smoother ride than the Audi. The gearing is longer too, which enhances the comfort, but the accelerator takes a week to reach the floor, dampening any high-octane instant thrills should you fancy them. One way around this, though, is to turn off the dynamic stability control and have a little fun. If you must be sensible though, then passengers will certainly appreciate the comfort and space in the back. They even get individual reading lights and discreetly hidden coat hooks. The wood up front is all very well, but it's a bit old man for what should be a sports coupe, and the rather thin steering wheel doesn't feel as racy as Audi's chunkier, smaller one. The Beamer's also let down because sports seats and groovies in on headlamps aren't standard, unlike the Audi, although the 328 will cost you less to insure. Okay, my discerning investor chums, which is it to be? Well, let's be honest, neither of them were at the head of the queue when sex appeal was being dished out, although the Audi was a little further up the front. The BMW isn't the most distinguished of cars, either to look at or to drive. The once great 328 is now a very polite coupe. The urgency of its predecessor is nowhere to be seen here, which is a big shame. The Audi, though, is a right hoot, a big handful, and is £2 cheaper than the Beamer. It's the one I take because you can have such a laugh with that turbo.